All right, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my bunker here in Atlanta for continuing the BBR lockdown edition, BBR42 that is. My teammate Hambone playing Russia and UK, and myself playing the rest of the allies, and then our opponent is the ever-capable Pagan from California. So game slowed down just a little bit, but that's okay. I was on spring break and, did some traveling. So went from the upstairs to the downstairs and from the living room to the dining room. So got my travel experiences all done last week. And actually, in all seriousness, we did some stuff around the yard and cleaned out the garage and the laundry room and so much stuff. But anyways, we're going to continue on here with US 3. And it's getting dicey. It's a close game and be fun to see how this turns out either way. So USS 70 IPCs. I do have my tech, of course, as you already know if you've been watching, which is shipyard. So I've got a carrier for 13, sub for 5, a transport, artillery, and infantry totals 12. So that's 5 plus 7 is 12. An infantry for 3, ran out of room, so I came up here. 2 destroyers for 14, 2 subs for 10, and another carrier for 13. So let's do some combat here. I've got C-Zone 54. I've got a sub. It's going to peel off of this Navy and go 1-2 over here to 42. 2 planes from the one carrier from 54 will go 1-2 as well. Has 2 spots to land. All right. Other combat. This transport with the tank and infantry from Johnston Islands will go 1-2 over to Caroline Islands. We're going to bring the fleet from 54, the remainder of the fleet, which is a carrier and 2 fighters, 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and 2 subs will come into there. And so we'll get, 2 offshore bombardments of 4. My planes will go 1, 2, 3. And they'll have 1 spot to land. They have to land on the carrier. So they were on the carrier here. 54, they went 1, 2, 3 over the Caroline Islands. They will land there. So that gives me 2 offshore bombardments, 2 4s. 2 4s, so they have 2 units. 2 3s for 2 fighters. And then another 1 and a 3. So there's my battleship offshore. There's my 2 fighters, my infantry, and my tank. Let's send 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's send another fighter. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 1 spot to land. We're going to send attack. 1, 2, 3. He's got 1 spot to land. Actually, we're going to target select that booger. Okay, so the rest will be non-combat, I think. Let me double check here. That's non-combat, that's non-combat, that's non-combat. So we'll do non-combats there. Let me mark this. So that is a non-combat. That's staying put. This is a non-combat. This is a non-combat. That is a non-combat. Oof. My bomber's a non-combat. All right, so let's get some battles going here, guys. So I'm first going to target select that infantry. So I got a 3, my attack, and we'll target select. And that right, he went 1, 2, 3, has 1 spot to land. Here's attack, target select, and a miss. All right, so that's my attack. I'll roll in the next battle if needed. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 more planes. I've got 3 planes, so there's my 3 fighters. Here's my tank. Here are my 2 offshore battleships and my infantry. So we'll roll all that together. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I killed you dead 4 times. Okay, and so he gets 1 infantry at 2. See what happens here. Nothing. And he missed. All right, so that is gone. U.S. has that, so that takes away the Japanese point for Imperial Japan. Not that, you know, a big deal right now, I guess, but nonetheless. All right, sorry about that. I'm sure if you saw that. So we've got an infantry there, a tank. All right. So let's do this battle, then I'll do some non-com. So I've got 2 at 3 and a 2. So there's my 2 fighters, 1, 2. Here's my sub, 1. And he's got a destroyer at 2. So here we go. 2 fighters, C-Zone 42. 2 fighters and a sub at C-Zone 42. And I got 1 hit. So the destroyer is gone. Let's see what happens here. Do I have a sub or not? And I still have a sub. All right. So the sub lives. So that's gone. No IPC. The planes will land back here. They have 1, 2. They will land on the carrier. Okay. Now let's do this carousel of non-combat moves. So this destroyer in 31 will go to 25. This destroyer in 54 will go 1, 2, 3 into 26. Okay. This fighter from 54 from Queensland will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, land in Hawaii. All right. This TAC from 30 will go 1, 2 and land in Hawaii. The sub and the carrier will come in here, 1, 2, catch the plane and the TAC. All right, so there's that. I've done that, I've done that. My 5 transports will come down here from San Francisco. And they will bring with it 5 infantry, and they are landing. And they're going to bring in a tank, 2 artilleries, 1, 2, 3, and 2 mechs. And they are landing as well. I'll go over this in a second, a recap, just so you know. All right. The bomber para is going to pick up 2 infantry from Queensland. And using the airbase, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop there and land in Western. Wait, is that right? Yeah, coming from an airbase. 1, 2. So Queensland, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're landing there in, bombers landing there. Kook. All right. And other non-coms is over here. I've got a destroyer going to from C-Zone 91 to 92. I've got a bomber para. Is going to para drop 2 guys to London. Okay, and we all know that can reach there. I don't have to count it out. So there's a bomber para there. Sorry for the mess. Holy cow. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there. 2 fighters from Gibraltar, 1, 2, 3, 4, will also land there. All right, then my 2 transports from 101 will go 1, 2, 3. And they're going to bring with it 2 infantry, an artillery, and a mech. And then the fighter will come down to land in Gibraltar as well. All right. So let me do a recap here. Make sure I haven't, see. No, can't move him. I move that there. Move that. Yes, I've got this. I did this. Killed that, which is what I wanted to do. I have landed back here safely. I've taken that, non-commed, that, and that. So let me place my pieces. So I've got a carrier, a sub, a transport going into C-Zone 10. And then in San Francisco, I have 2 infantry and an artillery. And then over here in the Atlantic, I have 2 subs, 2 destroyers, and an aircraft carrier going into C-Zone 101. All right, so U.S. collects their 70, 25, 50, 60, 70. There's that. So I will throw all this money in the bank here in a second. Not going to make you watch that. So let's do a recap. Oh, for U.S. and then I'll do China. So Eastern United States, I have a AAA, C-Zone 101, 2 destroyers, a carrier, and 2 subs. Iceland and infantry. London, I have a bomber para, 2 infantry, and 2 fighters. In C-Zone 91, I have 4 transports. You know what? Yeah. 4 transports with 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, 2 artillery, a mech and a tank, and a fighter. I need to think on this a second. In C-Zone 92, I have a destroyer. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, I'm good. In West India, bomber para, bomber transport. India, Calcutta, 2 infantry, a sub and 42. In Queensland, I have a fighter. In 54, I have a carrier with 2 fighters. In Caroline Islands, I have an infantry and a tank. In C-Zone 33, is that right? Yep, C-Zone 33, I have a transport. I have 1, 2, 3 subs. I have 1, 2 destroyers. I have, sorry, make sure you can see that. Let me back up. 3 subs, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers, 2 battleships, 2 carriers, 1 carrier with 2 fighters, 1 carrier with a fighter and TAC, and a transport. All that is in C-Zone 33. Okay, Wake Island infantry and artillery. Midway, an infantry. C-Zone 25, a destroyer. In C-Zone 26, I have 5 transports and a destroyer. On Hawaii, I have a AAA, a fighter, a TAC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 mechs, and a tank. In San Francisco, I have a carrier, a sub, and a transport. I'm sorry, C-Zone 10, I have that. San Francisco, 2 infantry, AAA, artillery. Alaska, still have a guy. All right, so let's do the China turn. China has 10, and they're gonna buy 2 infantry and a AAA. Oh, sorry, same cost. Cavalry. 2 infantry and a cavalry. I'm going to send 1 attack. I've got 2 cavalry coming into Chahar. And I've got a plane going 1, 2. All right, and that's my only attack. So let's roll that out. I got 2 at 2 and a 3. 2 at 2, so there's my 2 cavalry. There's my fighter. And then he has an artillery and infantry defending at 2. So here we go. Need 2 hits, baby. Ha ha, look at that. That's what I needed. And on the 2s nonetheless. And Japan, they got a hit as well. So I've taken this 1 hit. All right, that's my China dude. So China has taken Chahar. My plane will go back to Kansu. My infantry will go back to Kansu. My 2 artillery and cavalry will go back to Kansu. So China has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 IPC. We will save that. That's been spent. So let's do a China recap. I've got 1 cavalry in Chahar, 1 cavalry in Kansu, with 3 infantry and a fighter and a Russian mercenary. So that's it for U.S.-China. Let me make sure before I pass it on. Again, all this Navy in 33, that's the big thing. Make sure we get all that. 2 carriers, 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, 3 subs, a transport, 3 fighters, and attack are in 33. That's the biggie. Make sure we got all that correct. That is that. Got my bomber there, so I think that's it. So we will go on to Germany, Pagan in Germany, Germany 5. Germany 3, actually.